welcome to Student Branding TV. I'm Derek Merdinian.
And I'm Erica Zuko. Last week we talked with you about creating a blog and creating content for that blog. And this week we're going to move offline and talk to you about some of the ways that you express your personal brand through offline interaction.
And both Erica and I actually had some interesting real-world experiences demonstrating our personal brand. Erica's was a little more exotic than mine, so I'll let her kick that off. You were down in Las Vegas this week, right?
Yeah, well, last week I was at the National Association of Broadcasters Conference in Las Vegas, and it's a big show that happens every year. There's about 4 buildings full of just wall-to-wall booths from different technology companies showing off products, services, gadgets, and those kinds of things. And it was a really great opportunity to meet new people that I might be collaborating with on projects in the future, or that I might eventually want to work for that company. So it was a really important time to be ready with those business cards, with resumes if necessary, and to be able to kind of express that personal brand in person. And I think that you had a career fair. Was it yesterday, Derek? Or?
Yeah, it was yesterday, and it was actually really interesting to go there and watch which people were really connecting with the different HR reps that were being represented there. You know, you could tell almost instantly which ones connected with them because they were able to differentiate themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I saw so many people just walk up and hand over a black and white resume, just plain. It all looks very similar. And they would talk for 30 seconds and then they would, go off to the next person. They were basically like, back in kindergarten, first grade where you gave a Valentine's card to everybody. It was sort of like that with the resumes. There was no real personal connection to it.
Yeah.
But I did see a couple people that were really engaging with these people because they were differentiating themselves. They were expressing their strengths, their skills, their backgrounds. They had unique and interesting looking resumes, and we'll talk about that later. Some people had business cards, and they were really talking about their past experiences. Those people were really connecting and making great use of their personal brands. So
yeah, there was
dive right into it. Go for it.
Well, there was actually a career fair at NAB also, and I stopped by just for a second to kind of see what was going on, and there were a lot of students from different schools across the nation, and it was really interesting because you had that same kind of effect. There were some people that just came in and went up to a news director with a DVD and a resume and kind of threw it out that way, whereas people that were talking about some more of their experiences and talking about the types of things that differentiate themselves and that make them specific and really know their place in that industry, those conversations seem to go on a lot longer. So
definitely, yeah. So it really shows when you have something to share with these people here. So talking about the toolkit, there are 4 things we're going to talk about. There's the business card, resume, cover letter, and portfolio. So first one is the business card, and I'm going to show you a couple examples of mine. This is my current one right here. Got company logo there and the expanded company logo there. And on the front, I've got my name, my position at the company, phone number, my Twitter account, because this is a very web-savvy company. I want people to be able to connect with me at all points, and that shows by including the Twitter thing on there. I have my Facebook URL on here and my email address on the company website. So getting all the bits of information on there. But going beyond just the information, this card conveys some extra things about me. The logo, if you look at it, it's kind of different, a little mysterious, and that sort of integrates with the brand, both of the company and myself. A lot of people that know me sort of think of me as this, I don't know, like there's something more kind of there sort
Enigma.
of thing. But yeah, right. But yeah, show your personality through the brand. Have it clearly express both what you do and sort of how you do it. So
well, and if you don't have if you don't have a specific position at a company, that doesn't mean that you can't have a business card. It's good even if you're just a student or if you're looking for jobs to have some type of business card that expresses who you are with that. And this one that I have isn't for any specific organization. Yeah. I just kind of have my name, my contact information, my website URL, which pretty much has all of examples of work and those kinds of things on it as well. And since I don't have a specific position, I have just kind of these broadcast icons. I have the video camera, the computer, the microphone, the television screen to kind of show what I'm about a little bit and express that I'm in the field of communication. So you could also do that with kind of self-naming yourself with a title that explains what it is that you like to do or what it is that your brand is. So even if it's not for a specific group, it's good to still have a business card that expresses who you are.
You want to talk about the cover letter?
Yeah, definitely. Whenever you go to apply for a job or for an internship, typically they're going to ask you to have a cover letter along with your resume and any other application materials that they ask for you to submit. And this is an example to both share your personal brand, but also tailor that specifically for that company. Typically, there are certain things that they're looking for whenever they post a job. So, first, it's most important to address how you can fill those needs and what you can do for that company. But it's also very important to address the different things that have to do with your personal brand that make you different than all the other applicants for that company. So, just saying that I'm hardworking and I'm creative for some type of creative director position might not be enough, but being able to express what you can do that's unique for that position is.
And the next step from the resume, of course, or from the cover letter, is the resume.
Right.
And this one's mine right here. And something kind of interesting I kind of found through experience from handing this out at the career fair the other day is that people were very attracted to this resume because of this giant red bar up here. It
Catches
stood out
attention.
visually to these people.
Right, and a couple quick things. Typically, recruiters will look at your resume for about 15 to 45 seconds is the average. So you want to be able to have very clear descriptions of what your past possessions have been or past experiences have been. And that resume really is your way to get your foot in the door for an interview. So it doesn't need to be really long, detailed explanations, just kind of something to show what you're all about and get people interested in hearing more about those experiences. And one of those ways that you would show more about what you've done in the past is with a portfolio. And a lot of the time, this is if you've done some type of creative work or some type of producing content. And while there are a lot of ways to express that portfolio online, it's good to also have something that you can show off in person. If there's something that you can do in terms of print samples, a folder with just some examples is a great way to do that, that you might be able to hand out to a potential recruiter or just somebody that's interested in seeing your work. Another way is a flash drive. If you want to include either some video examples, audio examples, that kind of thing. CDs are great if you do mostly video.
And now we're going to talk just a little bit about how we tie all this real world stuff back into the online brand that we've been talking about for the past few weeks.
Right. Now, most of our interactions are in real life when we're going to be working with people, but a lot of those are also online. And whenever you go to something like a career fair, like the example that we gave at the beginning, whatever you're handing to a recruiter or to somebody in HR is an introduction to who you are. So make sure that you have ways that they can find more information about you online if that's where you have your portfolio or other things like that. Possibly a link to your blog if it's relevant to what you're looking for. So make sure that people know how to find you online and get in touch with you as well.
The other brilliant thing is that the resume is, like a calling card. It's the first way to establish the connection, but the way it ties back to the online is that's where you can really demonstrate to people. You can catalog through your blog and just portfolio all the accomplishments that you've done both in life and work, in play, awards you've won, all those different things. You can actually show them and demonstrate as opposed to just saying, I work hard, I'm a creative thinker, I'm a team player kind of thing. So that's why it's really important.
Right. Online, you can also show the kinds of social interactions that you have and kind of use
Sure.
that's where you can also display your social resume, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm sure we'll talk about in some of our future videos as well, how to develop that
Definitely.
social resume. Well, if you have any other questions for us or comments or suggestions on how to build your personal brand, you can shoot us an email at studentbrandingtv@gmail.com. You can also find more articles, blog posts, and information about personal branding at studentbranding.com.